Hello, sports fans. Hello, YouTube. Flip Flop Man 67. I know I need to change it. Actually, I need to change my whole YouTube channel. But besides that, you gotta do what you gotta do. But besides that, let's talk about the Oklahoma City Thunders. Yes, losing Kevin Durant was huge. What you have on your roster left, +2 with Russell Westbrook, depending if he wants to stay or not. The truth is, you probably gotta stay from scratch, like I said, unless you can keep Westbrook to stay. If not, you can't keep Russell Westbrook. You lost Durant. I mean, this team probably would have to start over. Let's face it. I just don't understand OKC, man. I mean, think about it. Young, upcoming team who built through a draft. The problem is, because it's in OKC, these guys decided to leave, and it's just crazy. And it's just like, I'm telling you, the next ESPN's 30 for 30, man. I'm telling you right now. Failure to launch in OKC. Somebody got to do that documentary. I'm telling you. Obviously, got to be in OKC or Seattle, one of those two guys. But anyways, like I said, the happiest fans of that team breaking up is from Seattle after OKC ditched Seattle to go to OKC. So, like I said, happy fans right there in Seattle, and it's just crazy. But besides that, it is a sad tragedy because we're talking about these small market teams. Now, it's funny. I was reading comments on somebody's other site about the Minnesota Timberwolves. You cannot keep all the players there. It's just, that's how it works. That's how crazy the NBA landscape is. Players want to get moved. They want more money, or definitely they want to get paid more. And if they want to win, that's if they want to win anyways, they'll go somewhere else. And that's what Kevin Durant did. He went to Golden State. I mean, it's sad and it sucks that he left to Golden State. It just makes you wonder, like, it just makes you shake your head, like, man. And like it is to me, it is bad for the NBA that a player like him, his caliber, to just jump ship, just jump to a team that wins the title. I mean, you talk about bandwagon and you talk about all the other things. I mean, you heard all the stories about, yeah, he had a choice. He could have gone anywhere else, but decided to play the Golden State Warriors. And like I said, it wasn't just Golden State. But anyways, if you jump to Golden State, San Antonio, Cleveland, any of those three teams, I really believe Kevin Durant was not needed. If he went to any of those three teams, I would have been like, now that's why in OKC makes you wonder, what do they do? Now, Boston is interested in Russell Westbrook, but the problem is, do not take the draft picks. If you're OKC, the NBA draft picks are nothing. Unless it's a top 2 pick, which the problem is in the NBA, if I'm correct, what is it? A lottery protected draft pick? That means, what is it? If it's a top 3 pick, if I understand this correctly, you keep your draft pick. So what's the point of taking a draft pick? Boston, yeah, they have a lot of draft picks. It is not worth it. Man, if you trade Russell Westbrook to the Boston Celtics, I'm definitely taking Al Horford. You got to replace Ibaka. You traded Ibaka with. You need to replace Ibaka. Steven Adams, Enes Kanter, they're both 5s. They're both play centers, man. You can't play either guy power forward. That is just ridiculous. They're too slow to play power forward. Come on now. And not only because it's a stretch poorly, just that the idea is they're just too big, too slow to play freaking power forward. You can't have those guys. You can't have either one of those guys play power forward. Of course, you can play them both at the same time. I'm just saying you cannot start both of them every game. You know what I mean? That's just stupid. You can't play 2 5s. All right, you're gonna need a 4. This is where, if you did trade for Boston Celtics, you take Al Horford, either take Marcus Smart or Avery Bradley. Heck, if you could get them both, fine. Take that and Al Horford, then you make that trade. Besides that, don't trade them to Boston for draft picks. Don't gamble. That's a crapshoot. Don't do it. Especially too, OKC, if they're smart, you build a super team through the draft. But the problem is, because of the small market, you guys couldn't keep him there. Think about it. James Harden, you guys let him walk. I understand you decided to pay Ibaka, but the problem is, what's the point now? Ibaka's gone. You got rid of Ibaka. Now you got to replace him. That's one thing I didn't understand when they talk about, following the idea of the San Antonio standards of San Antonio. It's not just because San Antonio had Tim Duncan. They drafted well. Not only did they draft well, they got veterans, proven veterans that could still play. OKC, for some reason, instead of going to get proven veterans, they decided to go young. Why did you guys go young? Who knows? Like I said, man, you could not just rely on Westbrook and Durant. Not only that, too, you guys had Reggie Jackson. You guys had to let him go. I mean, it's just crazy, man. I don't know. Maybe Reggie Jackson had a big ego. But besides that, you guys had talent. You guys had players there. You could have kept this thing together in OKC, and somehow it's done now. This run is done probably. I mean, if you could keep Russell Westbrook, it would be a wishful thinking they could keep Russell Westbrook. I mean, I cannot believe Russell Westbrook will stay in OKC. That's hard to believe. Any fan in OKC would be happy he would stay, but I'm just saying no. As an NBA sports fan, it is hard to believe that Russell Westbrook will stay in OKC. I mean, how do you convince a player like him to stay, knowing that Kevin Durant just up and left him? I mean, yes, you could probably piss off Westbrook and tell him, hey, you had one of these great players with you, he didn't want to play with you. Yes, they could say that, motivate Westbrook. But will that be enough for him to stay in OKC? That's a tough call. And if you can't sign him for, like you said, a long-term deal, you gotta trade him. If you're gonna trade him, you should trade him now, but don't just trade him for anybody. Trade him for at least a solid piece, man. Don't trade him for draft picks. Do not gamble on the NBA draft. Anybody should know that. Look at the Boston Celtics this past season's draft. Why they couldn't get nobody for those draft picks? Because there's players that wouldn't have done nothing. Let's face it. Guys in college coming out way too early and don't know if they're proven. Even like kids like Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, even though he's the #1 pick overall in the draft, I'm not convinced this guy's ready. Even that guy Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram is another thing. You're comparing him to probably a poor man's Kevin Durant. Is that what his comparison is? Poor man's Kevin Durant? Just doesn't make sense just to take your chances like that. All I know is OKC got to do something, but just don't be too desperate to just get rid of him. I mean, yes, if you could keep Russell Westbrook, it's probably worth the try if you could keep him there, but the problem is you probably can't keep him there. So you got to look for options. Hopefully they make some smart options so those OKC fans don't start burning banners. And like I said, man, the next ESPN's 30 for 30 failure to launch OKC. Somebody got to do that. Just to pick the mind of what were they thinking at OKC. Because I'm telling you, Don Nelson, if he was the general manager at OKC, I'm telling you, James Harden would still be in OKC right now. I'm telling you, James Harden would be in the OKC. You would have had a trio, and that team probably. I mean, of course, yes, I know it's not guaranteed beating LeBron James, obviously, because LeBron's will. You know, as great as LeBron James is, sometimes it makes me scratch my head watching him. Sometimes it's like, we see his greatness. We know he's a top 5 greatest players of all time list. Or on the end, statistically, on the top 5 greatest players list. It's just that it's just amazing. It's just driving you nuts about LeBron. But besides that, it's just that if you're an OKC fan, you're just hoping that, hey, maybe there is a chance, maybe a prayer chance, that Russell Westbrook will stay. If not, hopefully they'll get a solid foundation to build around this team. Because if not, you guys are just going to have to start over and rebuild. It's just crazy. Just starting over and rebuilding. Especially, like they said, a small market team like OKC is just crazy, just to start over. And hopefully, but besides that, I guess we out. All right, YouTube, we out of here.